Welcome to the after party. Welcome to the after party. Did you bring some snacks and treats?
Yes, it did.
I hope you got me something to eat.
Maybe.
Welcome to the after party. Coming to the after party.
Right now.
I've been waiting here all day to act like a fool this way. Welcome to the after party. Join us in the after party.
Right now.
Oh, chocolate and gabbing, maybe some microphone gabbing at the after party.
With DJ Eric Page. Banana.
Canada Graps is going to be here at some point. He has a link, and Lance is doing something. So a couple people asked me why Lance wasn't here. He's doing something. He's got something related to work, whatever. No, actually, I think he's playing with his band somewhere. I don't know. He'll talk about it on his stream, I'm sure. Or he might even stop in here. Anyway, welcome to the after party. We are going to be talking about Stargirl today. I didn't get to do a review, and that is because of work / some stuff with the CW and Verizon. So I'll talk about that in a moment. We're also going to talk about the news from The Flash, the deleted scene that got released a couple days ago that has kind of been circulating. Talk about that a little bit. And yeah, those are kind of the topics. So if anybody wants to, drop a super chat and introduce something for us to talk about, feel free to do so. We're going to have a lot of space today. Thank you so much for being here. Paigey is eating. What are you having? What are you eating over there?
Butter and Vegemite on these things called we have here called saladas.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they're like they're like a saltine cracker. I think you'd call them like the square crackers that have salt on them.
Okay.
But they're called saladas here.
Is it delicious? Is it delicious or?
Well, I think it's amazing, but you'd probably wouldn't swallow it as the old video.
Probably not. The funny thing is that there's certain things that where's that here? CW. There's certain things from other countries that are like, sort of like staple things, staple foods or whatever that people ate when they were little. And so they remember them fondly. One of my friends who lives in London says that beans on toast with ketchup.
I have beans on I know beans on toast with ketchup, unless it's with
ketchup and butter. I think is what he said.
I have beans on toast. Well, I don't know, baked beans here, like in England, come in like its own tomato sauce already. Mm-hmm. I have beans. I did 3 days ago. Yeah, it was like on Wednesday or Thursday.
So the thing is, though, here in the States, that's not even something you could ever get anywhere. Like you couldn't just go to a restaurant and get that.
Yeah, apparently it's expensive to get the Heinz baked beans. Like here, it's like you go to the shop, you get like, I don't know, like a thing of 4 cans of beans for like $3 or something, $4 maybe.
Yeah.
But if you did the exact same thing in America and got online, it probably cost you like $15 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't believe people that shit on beans of toast have never had it. It's amazing.
Well, yeah, it's not. Yeah, I'm not talking bad about it. I've just never had it, so I don't know. Beans has tomato sauce though already. It does, but I've heard that people put butter and ketchup on the beans on toast.
They might. I've only ever really probably had that fused when like you have like a bigger breakfast. So you have like sausage, bacon, hash browns, egg, and then you have baked beans there with toast, and then you might put ketchup on the sausages or something like that.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know. I'm not a big fan of. I don't know. I see people putting like when they put like ketchup on scrambled eggs. I'm like, why? Just eat the freaking eggs. Just don't put ketchup on.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's go ahead. We're going to get into the first topic, which is the stuff with CW and Verizon Fios. Now, this happens a lot, but this one's gone on a little bit longer than what they normally go. In terms of like how long it takes to fix it, because usually it's like a day or two. But apparently this started before the 14th, which would have been yesterday, and nothing has been done. I've done a little digging on this, And it says here, Nexstar and Verizon Fios were unable to reach an agreement about continued distribution. As such, nearly 3 million subscribers. It's actually supposedly more than that. I think that the number was like 7 million, but 3 million confirmed subscribers have lost coverage from the company's local TV stations. You no longer have the CW as a channel. This is why. We'll keep you posted on any changes. So the thing is that this means that if you use Verizon Fios for TV or internet, it's not for everybody. Some people's internet will not even let you use your CW app channel to watch CW. You have to like for me, I had to do an incognito tab, use a VPN, and then watch the CW page. It would not let me use my CW app. Like if you're logged in to your CW app and you have Verizon Fios, it would not let you access it. Some people are saying that they haven't had that problem. Some people are having that problem. So that's an inconsistent problem. But the thing is that you've lost the whole network, basically. So the issue with this is the digging that I did. I found out that basically the CW wants to hike up, or Nexstar wants to hike up distribution charges with having like reruns. And these other companies are like, we don't want to pay more to have your channel on our service if you're not going to be putting out new content. That doesn't make any sense. Why would we pay more for your service? We know the situation you're in. It's no big secret. You're hiking up the cost to play reruns of shows from 2015. So they may sort this out. I think it'll probably get figured out at some point because they don't want to not have the CW completely. But it's not unheard of for a smaller network to just disappear from a service. So yeah, is this an L for me or is this an L for the CW? I don't know where the L.
It's just dodgy. It's a dodgy just business practice, in my opinion. Like hiking up the cost for less content to these, like Verizon and stuff like this. It just seems dodgy. Like I know, like examples. Like I'm like one of the things I subscribe to because I actually use it is like it's a thing called Optus Sport in Australia. And it has the Premier League in it, like the soccer in England. And when COVID happened and there was less games on there, and they could do less content, they brought the subscription price down by $10. They didn't have to. They could have kept it the exact same price.
Right.
But they did it because like, well, we're not offering you the same content that we normally would. So we'll bring it down for a bit until we get back to normal. But this is like the opposite. This is like going, let's just do it and see if we can. But I don't know if you ever agreed with me when I messaged you.
Which
in
one?
The message thing when I said it, but I was like, it wouldn't surprise me in X amount of time, whether it's a month, whether it's 6 months from now, whether it's the next financial year, whatever it is, whenever they sort it out, I guess, is that the CW app puts a live TV option.
I saw that. I just agree. I kind of agreed with it. I didn't type like, yeah, I agree, but I do agree with that. I think that's true. Yeah. That you'll be able to like pay and get a live watch it live through the CW app. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but like for example, like let me show you. Tab. Yeah, there we go.
Let's see what this is here.
I won't play anything. Don't worry. Ooh, they're playing Pokemon. Eh? So for example, this is channel 9 in Australia. So they have your shows here. You can watch stuff on demand if you want. There's all this stuff down here. Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer. You can watch all that stuff. Oh, Epic Swamp Thing. So you can watch all this stuff if you want. This is free to air. You don't have to pay for it. So
but there are ads on it though, right? Aren't there ads running in the?
Yeah, it's like the ads that would play. Obviously, if you're watching live, there'd be ads. But if you watch something on demand, like if you watch Swamp Thing, probably like every 15 minutes or something an episode, you'd get 30 seconds to a minute of ads.
Like a YouTube ad, basically.
Yeah, sort of. But there's that, and then they have the live TV option up here, which you can click. I'll get that off before it starts playing TV. But like that's for example there. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's what they do with the CW.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Because that's a way that you can maximize revenue to like a ridiculous extent because you can put whatever ads you want in the live TV thing. Like it plays different ads sometimes compared to what's actually playing on TV.
Right.
So because you know how it's localized.
Yeah.
The CW stuff would be like, oh, we're in Minnesota, man. Here's the Minnesota McDonald's.
You know what's interesting is the ad-supported version of Netflix is still pay to service. It's not like
What is it?
other. So
Oh,
like
it's not free.
no. So for example, Peacock has an ad supported version that you don't pay for, and then you can pay for the upgrade to get it with no ads and extra content, right? But Netflix is doing ads on a paid service. So you pay $7 a month and you still get ads.
Yeah. Talk about double dipping.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen with this in the long run, like where we're going to go with CW. I hope that they get it sorted out before the Flash and Superman and Lois come back, because I like to watch those live. And if I don't have the channel, then it's going to be difficult for me to do it. So I know it's not impossible. Just put it out there. I know it's possible to watch it live other places, but I'd prefer to be able to watch it like on my actual television. Since it's airing in the United States. It seems weird that I wouldn't be able to watch it. But anyway. So yeah, there's that. I know that Canada has a service called Crave, I think is what it is.
That's like Binge here, which is like the equivalent to HBO Max.
Yeah.
And they look exactly the same. I've seen Crave. It looks exactly the same. It must be run by the exact same company that does Binge over here. Which is like an
they try
of Fox,
to get as much content as possible in those. Like they do a lot of because I see it like there's a couple things I watch where it's like on this service worldwide and then Crave in Canada. And I'm like, wow, so they basically got that one on Crave.
Well, yeah, like I can show you like this is God, it takes me 27 years to do clicking, doesn't it? Like
so this is Binge.
This is Binge, and this is roughly what Crave would look like.
Okay.
So Binge has like where's Stargirl? Like Stargirl's on here. Probably say like new episodes this week or something.
But do they show the episodes weekly? They have the updated episodes though. They don't make you wait till the end of the season to watch it.
No, so it comes out weekly. Like Harley Quinn just came out. Like they released all the.
Oh, I see Game of Thrones. Wow.
Yeah. Stargirl wasn't here. Oh no. Oh, there we go. It'd be here. There we go. Try there.
Yeah.
Stargirl. So
Stargirl, and that's the most recent poster too. So that's the
so it's like new episodes this week. So it have the season 3.
And there's the betrayal. All right.
Okay, God, I thought I had the next episode because I saw something after episode 6. Like,
it just kind of loops back around.
Came out. Yeah. So so we get like there's services like that. So that's a paid service, but then there's like that one Channel 9, which is free, but you have to watch ads if you stream it. So you can watch Swamp Thing on Channel 9, but Swamp Thing is also on Binge, but you not have to watch ads if you had Binge.
Okay.
So there's things like that. Yeah.
Well, there we go. All right. So, Candagraphs, did you watch Stargirl this week?
I have not watched it since the start of season 2. I keep meaning to, and I just haven't.
Oh gosh. All right. So we're going to talk about like briefly about Stargirl because I happen to like this episode. So if you guys have any questions in the chat about the episode, make sure you super chat it or leave your comments there. But this week's episode was titled The Betrayal, and I finally got to watch it. I literally finished watching it 20 minutes ago because I had to go through all that trouble of being able to find it and be able to watch it since my service was blocking it. So stupid. So anyway, I watched it. It was a really good episode this week. We got to see, finally Cindy's revealed what she was doing, which was trying to find a way to track down the labs to see what kind of work her father was doing because of what she was going through. Courtney had to come clean about basically training Cameron. We had the Courtney's parents meeting with Cameron's grandparents, and that was kind of creepy and weird. And that was probably the weakest part of the episode for me.
What? Which one?
The conversation between her parents and the grandparents, because it just felt the conversation felt really stupid.
It felt like it was just planting a seed for some just adding to the tension there.
Yeah.
But now with more people involved, there's already tension between those two parties, but now it's like more like direct tension rather than like, oh, I know what you did.
Yeah, that scene felt the weakest out of the whole episode for me. I think it wasn't bad, it just felt like a weak scene. We got to see Our Man basically going beyond an hour, which we didn't dive too much into how it's affecting him, but we can already see that he's gonna I mean, there's an addiction storyline coming, right? I mean, I feel like that's the direction of that.
I would agree with that, young DJ.
I will say that Beth telling her parents to kind of F off is like just not real. Like, whose parents are gonna just like let them do whatever they want? I don't know.
That's fine. That's fine. You can just go out and kill yourself.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was like, wait a minute. Like, if at any point I would have told my mom, yeah, I'm gonna go risk my life, and I don't want you to risk your life, so you can stay here at home, and I'm just gonna go out and do it. Like, no, that's
hey, I'm just gonna go out the back and juggle swords. Don't come
Yeah,
out the back while I'm doing it. You might get hurt.
I will say though, Leah Thompson, I believe, was the director of this episode, which is
she directed the last one as well. I'm pretty sure as well.
Did she? Was it
I think they're doing it in 2 bunches. So 1 and 2 are the same director, 3 and 4 the same director, 5 and 6.
She did a really good job. The visuals were really good.
Yeah. And I think 7 and 8 are done by Glenn Winter, who did like.
Canada Grass, you're familiar with Leah Thompson, aren't you? The actress.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I didn't know she directed. So
I
wasn't sure that she'd done any directing there in Vancouver or not.
Yeah. She actually was here like 2 years ago directing something.
Do you have that Mandela effect with Howard the Duck with the penis?
Be a little more specific.
The duck doodle, like apparently there's like this Mandela effect about Howard the Duck, and that you see he's Willie in the movie.
No, I don't remember seeing that. Definitely don't.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But I was watching something. Apparently, it's one of the like a movie Mandela effect, and I'm like, what? I think that was like some weird fantasy thing because to me it never happened in that movie. I only seen it once. And it was a while ago, but I do not remember Duck Doodle.
No, so I remember there were sexual innuendos in that movie, but I don't remember seeing
nothing because it was still a Marvel movie that was still meant to be like, I guess, for somewhat like a broader audience, not R-rated.
Yeah.
Although actually, you do see duck boobies though.
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
that's what people get confused with.
That is true.
Maybe that's what people think because there is like an insinuated like sexual scene, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's where people get mixed up. Duck boobies equal potential duck willy.
Maybe, but Canada Grass, you said she was directing there a while back. Like,
yeah. Let me see if I can find it.
But she did a great job. There was a fight scene in the episode between Cindy, Yolanda, and Rick, and Stargirl shows up after she'd been ignoring the team forever. I didn't realize like we'd gone like almost 2 episodes with her not doing anything, just hanging out with Cameron.
Just being AWOL, just like
right.
See you later.
What do you think about the whole Starman thing? Because in this episode, he had to sit down with her and like give her a sort of a pep talk, and then she went to Pat and was like, "I don't know what I would do without him." Do you still feel there's something kind of shady about him, or do you think we're just misinterpreting it?
I don't know, to be completely honest at this point. Like, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say it's fine, but you just have to have some feeling that there's something else there or there's some ulterior motive.
Mm-hmm.
Because even just the way he came back is still not fully explained. And it's not like that was just written for this season. Like, he was in the end credit scene for season 1. So back then, it was in the work. So I'm interested to see if is there anything larger at play. Maybe it was meant to lead into something that was meant to lead into like season 4 or potential season 4, whatever it is. But yeah, I don't know. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Just that I think the whole revival thing is the most sus thing at the moment.
Yeah. Did you find something, Canada Graphs, that she did in Vancouver?
Yeah, she did Resident Alien here.
Oh, the
she was actually here this year doing Resident Alien.
Yeah, that's the show that's over on Sci-Fi about the alien that looks like a human. It's like a comedy or whatever.
I guess. I know it's got Alan Tudyk. That's all I know about it.
Yeah, he's the lead on that show. It's actually pretty good, I've heard. We have a super chat here from Staggervore. It says, I wouldn't worry too much about this because carriage disputes often happen with certain networks and TV providers. The CW are most likely to be back on. Most likely, but it's not unheard of that they don't. There's been a couple of news networks that have pushed the button on that and they've gotten dropped. So also the CW is going through some changes with their with the shows they're providing. And they may not be that same, like, we have to have them on our network anymore if they start removing too many things. Because how many originals do they have now? Like 6 coming up next year? Maybe 6 total?
CW.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, like shows that he gets to premiere.
Yeah, like Walker, the Winchesters, which is probably going to be
They
huge.
premiered already.
Oh yeah, I know, but I mean, like that's going to be a show going into next year.
Oh no, but then they got what? Flash, Superman, Gotham, your favorite Gotham Knights, Riverdale, probably some other crap.
What's I'm saying, like 6 or 7 shows.
Nancy
like,
Drew.
Wait, Nancy Drew is still on?
Didn't they get renewed? I thought they got renewed.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I'm kind of shocked at that one. I thought that was the one that was going to get canceled. Maybe it's cheap to make. I don't know. Hero's Journey, the $5 super chat. Is the announcement we discussed next week also calculator storyline almost done since 6 out of 15 episodes? What? Calculator? What are we talking
Is the
about?
announcement we discuss next week?
He's
Also, calculator story almost done. What's a calculator?
Yeah, so the announcement thing is something in reference to some stuff on Twitter, and it's not my announcement to make, so I'm not even going to comment on it. I'm sorry. It's somebody else's channel, and I'll wait for them to make the announcement. Calculator, I don't understand what that is about. I mean, are we talking about Arrow season 4? I don't.
Calculator.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that like a?
I'd love to answer your super chat, but I have no idea what that's in
code or
reference
something.
to. Yeah. I don't know.
Me
kind of let us know what you mean in the chat so I can answer it. What? Stargirl regarding who terminated him? It's Mr.
Gambler.
Bones. Well, we're talking Gambler getting killed, but isn't Bones the one who's? I mean, in this
Stargirl calculator story regarding isn't that Gambler? I think that's who he's talking about.
Maybe.
I have a migraine. Do you?
One of the big reveals, I think, though, is we saw the puzzle with the skull on it. So I think it's pretty obvious who's watching them. Gambler. Okay. Yes.
I was going to say the dude from Twisted Metal, but that dude's a clown. What's his name?
Which from Twisted Metal? Oh, I don't know.
The clown. Oh, yeah, God. Anyway, whatever. What a game. Anyway.
I'm pretty sure Mr. Bones is the person who's been watching them. Now, whether or not he was the one that physically went there and killed Gambler, we don't know, but he's definitely watching everything that's going on.
Yeah, because Mr. Bones isn't like this, like throw up in the air and whatever. Like he's more discreet than that.
What do you think? What do you think about Mike and Jakeem's story? Do you find it interesting at all?
I think of just them personally, it's fine. In regards to tying to everything else, like I'm not too sure what's going to be like. Come the back half, especially when things get probably like scale up a bit, because at the moment it's pretty low key. Oh, Sweet Tooth, that's the clown's name. Thank you. I think my mum would have blown if I didn't figure that one out. But it's like low key, it's just like a murder mystery, so it's like contained. But I think it's obviously going to expand once we get to next episode. So how Mike and Jakeem factor from that, I'm intrigued. My thing is that I'm still waiting for Jakeem to just take ownership over the pen. Like it's his.
It feels like they're both owning it right now, which is weird.
Yeah, which
like,
feels I feel that takes away from Jakeem's character.
Yeah.
So I'd rather like Jakeem own that. Like he's the new Thunderbolt, if you want to call it.
I thought they were going to make it so Mike was going to take over for Pat and have like a mech, and then Jakeem was going to use the Thunderbolt. But it feels like they've walked away from that too a little bit. Because it's kind of expensive, I guess, maybe.
But I think it's also a way to involve Jakeem on the show, screen time wise, just because it's going to be like I don't know if it'd make too much sense that he would consistently be hanging out with Corny, Rick, Yolanda, all that. So I think hanging with Mike, and he can still have him interact with Corny, like if he goes to Mike's house or something like that, and cross over in that way.
I also want to say, even though we're 6 out of 15 episodes of the season, 13, a murder mystery is going to wait until the last minute. They're not going to reveal the killer.
No, apparently, I think episode 9's, was it 9 or something? It's called The Murderer. So you'd assume that's the episode where it gets revealed,
or maybe it's a fake murderer. We don't know for sure.
Is that your theory? Is that an Eric theory?
Mm.
I like Eric theories. Like they're the rocks
Are
of
they?
diamonds.
Anyway, but I pretty much, this was one of my favorite episodes of the season. I really enjoyed this one. There's still a few holes here and there, and I know there's some people online saying that I haven't criticized Stargirl, and I have. It's just like there's nothing awful about the show. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, overreact to like something that's just a minor problem in the story? I don't know what I don't know what people want me to do.
10. Episode 10 is called The Murderer.
Okay. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like the show is kind of doing all right. Like, it's obviously not as exciting week to week as last season was. Last season was like there was huge stuff almost every single week. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's a slow burn. Maybe that's not the right way for the show to be when it's the only one that's on the air right now, the only DC TV show that's on there. Maybe they should have had something more exciting. I have no idea.
I'm just surprised that people criticize. I don't know if it's just because they're comparing it to like say season 1 where everything got really like balls to the wall once we got past that halfway point of season 1 because it amped up so much and there was so much happening. And then even season 2 was like that as well because I think around this point the like Eclipso had killed someone and all that stuff was building up. But it's just Stargirl's whole thing is that it takes different themes and everything like that. So I'm surprised that there is the criticism with the slow burn just because it fits it. But also, like every other show in this genre is a slow burn at the moment. So I don't know why Stargirl's the one that's being singled out as the slow burn when it actually suits the story that they're going for. Yeah, while other shows are maybe slow burning just for the sake of adding an extra 2 or 3 episodes on.
I actually think Stargirl's been in a weird spot because even though it's a show that technically could fall into that like attacked for being woke category, nobody's really done that with Stargirl, but I feel like there's people who are on the edge of like doing that. Like they're trying to find reasons to dislike it without just outright going that far.
Yeah, but I don't know, but what has Stargirl done that would be categorized as woke?
Nothing that gets categorized as woke is really woke. It's just people, anything with a female character or a diverse cast pretty much gets attacked for being woke.
I think people still don't even know what woke even means. But
yeah.
At this point.
That's true. It's true. Robert Blake here says, what are the chances of all this being a lie and a ploy, and Cameron already knows just toying with Courtney and is
conniving.
I
think it's spelled incorrectly.
Okay. I was like, yeah, conniving his dad and there's a big reveal. I don't think they're going to do that. Right?
That
like,
seems a bit too complex and it seems a bit too complex and just like here's the twist for the sake of a twist.
Yeah.
I think Cameron's just like depressed.
Yeah. So Andy here says, socially people come at anyone going, why don't you criticize X, Y, or Z? If you genuinely like something, why unnecessarily critical for the sake of it? That person sounds weird, Eric. Well, it was just a couple people that were doing it. And it's like, people know that if I don't like something, I'll say I don't like it. I have no problem going against whatever the wave is of criticisms. But yeah, I don't expect other people to dislike something just because I dislike it. So it's really weird when people come in and they're like, you should talk more negative about something. So anyway, that's where we'll wrap up the Stargirl stuff. I'm really pretty much happy with the story right now. I think the show is in a good spot. It is, again, as we said, a slow burn, but what's not.
Well, I think the people that complain about the slow burn, it looks like next week changes that.
Yeah.
If you look at the trailer.
Yeah. So I'm going to say I'd give it, like, if I were scoring it, because I don't normally score during the after party, but I didn't get a chance to do a review. So I would give it, like, as far as a letter score, like a B+ somewhere.
I hate when you do letter scores because we don't use that system here. Just give it. Yeah.
So a B+ would translate to like an 8.5. So.
Oh, okay. I thought a B would have been like a 7.5, 8. Okay.
No, like 8.5.
What's an A? A 9.
A 9, and then A+ would be like 10? Yeah.
9.5, 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Slow burn. Slow burn is when a story takes a very long time to get to the point.
Oh my Jesus.
So
yeah. So it means it goes slow, but everything's relevant within the actual story. It's just not, at a considerable pace. It's usually with stuff like murder mystery or whether there's like suspense there because you're not too sure exactly what's happening.
Stop with the spoilers. God, like, just Bruce Wayne is Batman. Like, really? At least give us a chance to watch the
How does
cartoon.
he know?
I don't know.
I mean, Harvey Dent could be Batman.
Oh yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about I don't know where we should go next. I do want to talk about the Black Adam stuff that came out. I feel like it's not spoilery right now, right? Would you say the Black
I think
Adam
this movie-
end credit scene
I think
is not
this-
spoilery, right?
At this point, this movie is like you can't spoil this movie because the one thing that you can spoil from it, like The Rock spoiled himself. Like,
Okay.
that's why I'm very intrigued about this movie to see how it performs, because they really could have just held it in there, like one of those Spider-Man No Way Home situations where it's like we all knew that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were
Right.
going to be in it, but you went to the movie to actually see it happen.
So, all right. So I feel like it's not spoilery because it's been like 5 days since this spoiler came out. So I don't think I'm spoiling anything here. Okay. So Black Adam, I'm very excited for this movie. We're going to decide how we're going to review it by next week. We're either going to do it on the after party or we'll do a separate stream about it. We'll see. But we talked about this just last week. And I said that if Superman ends up being in a post-credit scene for Black Adam, it will get leaked immediately.
Yeah. Wish it was leaked in better quality.
Or immediately.
Yeah. I literally said that last week. I'm like, there's no point in using that as a selling point for the movie because it will get leaked.
And it didn't leak when it came out. It got leaked during the previous screenings where people shouldn't have their phones. That's where it got leaked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because supposedly they did a screening that not only had studio people and reporters, but also just regular people. So,
well, they did these like promo events around the world. Like there was one in Toronto, and like I think London had one, and like 3 or 4 other cities.
Yeah.
So like they were basically guaranteeing someone was going to leak this.
Yeah. So do you think they did it on purpose? Do you think it was on purpose?
Yes, 100%.
Reminds me
And
of
I don't know why you didn't just advertise he was going to be in it 3 months ago to get the hype started.
Because it was probably smarter to do it now because in the lead up to it. But at the same time,
but here's the problem with that. There's so many people that do not spend their life on the internet that still don't know Henry Cavill's in it. Exactly. And those people are probably like, I don't want to watch a Black Adam movie. But if they'd found out Superman was in it, they might have went opening weekend. And now they're only finding out this week.
Yeah, exactly, before it opens. That's why we
didn't it open this weekend?
No, next
week.
It
opens in a few days.
Really?
Oh yeah, this upcoming week. Yeah, this upcoming.
It's like
week.
What? Like 4 days.
The 21st, which is like,
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought it was this weekend.
Yeah. So here's the issue. I have a lot of issues with this. First of all, let me start off with the positives. I like Henry Cavill as Superman. I like the idea of him coming back as Superman. So edgy. I don't know if that's edgy. I think a lot of people like Henry Cavill as Superman. I don't like it as a selling point for Black Adam because it's an end credit scene and it's a very short scene. I think it's like 10 seconds or something, 12 seconds. Where he's
it's like it's a longer thing, but Henry Cavill on screen is like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I think the actual scene's like a minute and a half or something.
Yeah. So I don't like it as a selling point for Black Adam. There's a ton of reasons why. I mean, first of all, it's an end credit scene, so he's not going to be in the actual movie. So
what Schelling says there, it's so obvious that it was the reshoots they did recently because it just looks like it's on a blue screen, green screen set, and everything is fake except for The Rock.
Yeah.
Well, at least, but to be fair, it was filmed terribly. Like it's not like the best quality. So at least the one I saw.
So here's the other thing, and Laura here makes a good point. The closeness, usually with the superhero movies, they like to have 3 weeks of uninterrupted theater time to make their money. Because you have your front loaded weekend where you want to make all that bunch of that money in the first weekend, and then you want to give people about 2 weeks to make a decision to whether or not and go and see the film. Black Adam going up against Wakanda Forever there's a little bit of hubris with that because I don't think they compare in the way they think they do. Maybe The Rock sees it a different way. I would have liked for Black Adam to have a 4-week window, honestly, because I think the movie's probably going to be good. It's getting a lot of good reviews. But I think putting it out so close to Wakanda Forever is a bad marketing idea because I don't think it's going to affect Wakanda Forever.
Yeah. Right? I think it depends what both movies are like as well. Like, I think it definitely doesn't help it. I don't think Black Panther coming out, at least now heading into it, means it's dead after 2 weeks.
No, I don't think so either.
It depends what Black Panther 2 is like. Black Panther 2 could come out and it can be mid as hell and not be that exciting, while Black Adam's rewatchable. I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be a fine movie, but I don't know if you'd go back and watch it multiple times, but I can't say because I haven't seen it yet. But I think that's what it depends on. Because that was the thing with Black Panther. People went back and saw it 2, 3, 4 times.
Yeah.
But if Wakanda Forever comes out, it's just like, oh, I liked it, but not enough to really.
I think it's, I hear what you're saying, but I think there's going to be a large portion of that fan base that are going to rewatch it no matter if it's great or if it's just mid. I think they're going to go back and see it multiple times.
Is this your group, the Shills?
No, I just think that there's people that have waited for this movie for a really long time and they're going to go back and see it multiple times.
Yeah, yeah, probably. Yeah, 100%. But I think it also depends on the quality. Like, do they go back and see it this amount of times? Or is it like, oh, well, I can support it as much as I want, but there's also only so much I can handle at the same time.
So Gamerman here says The Rock was cast as Black Adam back in 2007. I'm so glad he finally got to play the character after waiting this long. Yeah, I agree. And I will say this, the closer we get to the movie, the more excited I am for it, because I know a lot of people are like, Henry Cavill, Superman, I don't give a shit about that end credit scene. I don't. I need the movie to be good. And I'm hearing that the people that are seeing the movie early, and I always say, take these with a grain of salt, but most people's reactions aren't saying like, this is the next Dark Knight Returns. This is as good as like Heath Ledger's Joker or some ridiculous claim like that. They're just saying that the movie is really good. And when I hear stuff like that, that makes me believe that they're being genuine, because when I hear these like unbelievable claims of it being the best DC movie ever made, that makes me wonder like how much of that is real and how much of that is hype, so I'm looking forward to it, and I'm really excited to see the JSA on screen. The clips that they released look pretty exciting to me, and yeah, I think it's going to be a good movie. I'm a little bit worried about it being so close to Black Panther, and I'm also just a little annoyed at the marketing with Henry Cavill and Superman, because I feel like that's going to overshadow the movie itself. I feel like the news cycles, because what do you call it? See, that one dude again, he was on the red carpet with The Rock and asked him about Superman versus Black Adam in the sequel. And I'm like, why the fuck are we even talking about the sequel? Like, you should be promoting the movie that's out right now, not talking about the movie that comes out later. Huh?
And make sure it performs so you can get a freaking sequel.
Yeah. Like, don't ask, like, this is the most, and I feel the same way about all the Marvel properties. Whenever somebody talks about what another show is setting up, it always annoys me. Like, let's get through the first one. Let's get through it, and then we'll talk about what it's going to set up. But, like, on the red carpet, The Rock's talking, and the first question he gets asked by this person is it going to be Superman versus Black Adam for the sequel? Like, this is why I didn't want that to come out the way it is. Is it going to be brilliant? Will it make money? Will it get people in the theater seats? We'll have to wait and see. I know it's already projected to have like a 60 to 75 million opening weekend.
Something. That middle third, roughly.
We'll see. We'll see. Canada Graphs, you're not going to see it, are you?
No.
Are you not a fan of The Rock in general, or you just don't go to see movies? I'm not sure.
No, I don't. I actually don't mind The Rock. Every time I've ever met him, he's been nice to me. But this movie, the ads for it just didn't inspire me.
Right.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe everybody will come and tell me like this is the greatest movie there's ever been. But I'm just, I think I'm superhero movied out at the moment. Like it's got to be something with a name brand for me to go.
Well, don't get me wrong. I'm the same. Like I don't go see every superhero movie.
The only superhero movie that I didn't see right away was Morbius. That was the one that I was just like, I'm not going to see this one.
Man, you missed out.
Thomas here with the £5 super chat. Is Henry the reason DC movies were? No. We need to stop pretending that Henry is the linchpin of DC. He's not. Him being added back in probably has very little to do with what they were planning to do with DC. Maybe David Zaslav thinks that there's a potential for a Superman franchise to continue down the road. But I don't think that Superman being in a post-credit scene has anything to do with any other movie. The delay for the movies it's pretty clear that they didn't have the money to put them out, and they're still having trouble with money. That's why so much depends on Black Adam.
Yeah.
So we'll see. He goes, Rock is when he pushed Superman so much. He is, because The Rock wants to fight Superman. That's the reason why. It's not that he wants Black Adam to fight Superman. The Rock wants to be the one to fight Superman. He wants to be.
He doesn't. Like, I don't think The Rock really cares about Man of Steel 2 unless Black Adam's the villain in Man of Steel 2, and he's playing Black Adam.
Are you suggesting The Rock is only concerned about what The Rock does?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but also, actually, you know what? He would care about Man of Steel 2 if his production company got to be on it. But there's no way that what's his name? What's the guy's name that did all the Nolan movies and did Charles Rovner? Is that his name?
Yeah.
I think he gets the producer tag on it. So it's like, I'm not sharing that with you, The Rock, so you can get lost. But The Rock probably fight for that. And it's like, well, I need it. Then The Rock would care.
We have Fancy here saying, we talked about this a little bit before, but I guess I'll get you guys' opinions on this. And I know that Candigraphs doesn't really read comics, so he doesn't care too much. But I don't like how they didn't do anything to make The Rock look more comic book accurate. No pointy ears or eyebrows if they're going to keep him bald. Do you think he would have looked good with the pointy ears and the weird eyebrows, even bald? Or do you think they went the right route and just made him look different?
They should have done the ears. That's the only thing. I'm like, come on. Like, I mean, we just watched Rings of Power. There's about a million.
Well, not only that, but Star Trek. Every Star Trek has characters with pointy ears.
All these, it's not hard to do, especially Black Adams. They're not like the full-on pointy, like a goblin or something. They're like they're just like little, like pointy tips.
Pointy ear prosthetics. You can go to like Party City here in the United States and get some and make them look real. Like, they're not hard to do. Honestly,
yeah. Let alone the money they could do to where it's like an easy application sort of thing for a film set.
Yeah,
and the fact that it wouldn't even have to wear them all the time, just close-ups. Like if it's far away, then just do CGI.
Yeah,
I'm sure some of that just comes down to marketing The Rock. You know, they know at the end of the day, there's going to be a percentage of people that want to go look at the big muscly guy, and they don't want to look at him looking like he's an alien.
Do you think that the pointy ears they think would have been too silly and they didn't want him to look like a silly character?
Probably. I'm sure there was probably a test group that broke this down and decided that.
Yeah.
You're telling me this is the same movie where a dude's dressed as a giant hawk?
But he's not The Rock.
Look, so this is interesting. He makes a good point. Namor in Wakanda Forever is going to have pointy ears and wings on his feet. So they can do it. They could if they wanted to. They just decided not to.
The Rock isn't playing that guy.
Right.
It's a name recognition, and knowing people are going to come and watch it for The Rock.
Yeah. That's probably a reason why he doesn't wear the hood and the cape through most of the movie, because he wants to be able to see his face.
It's like when he comes out, and then after that, it's no more.
But look, I'm excited for the movie. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I will probably do a short review after I see it, because I'm going to see it on opening day. So I'll do a short review of it. We'll do a longer breakdown of it after the weekend, probably, depending on who's watched it and who hasn't. I will say this, though, to end this, as far as comic book accuracy, the very next podcast I'm doing about Be Better Fans is going to be about comic accuracy. And you'd be surprised at how many people say they want comic accurate stuff, and even their references are not accurate. Like Superman, for example. When was Superman created, and what time period did he arrive on Earth? It was a long time ago. We have not had a Superman in modern times that has actually been from that time period, not even Henry Cavill's. And yet everybody seems to accept that his is the perfect Superman. So comic accuracy is overrated. I think people pick and choose what parts they want as their, I want this to happen because it's in the comics, but I'm okay with this changing. Like, either you want comic accuracy or you don't. And that's really just what it comes down to. And I think a lot of people think they want it, but they don't actually want it.
I think comic accuracy only comes down to whether the change in what you're doing defeats the point of using said character.
No, I agree with that. I do.
Yeah, and that's where it is. But
I think people will argue that they think it's the change is destroy the character when it hasn't, because they always go back to comic accuracy.
No, I think a lot of it's just creative liberty, which should be, encouraged, as long as it doesn't get to the point where, a character is this and ends up like that.
Yeah. You can't argue comic accuracy and then be like, I love the Snyderverse. Because
that's a message to you, Canada Graphs, I think.
No, I mean literally. And again, that's not me coming for the Snyderverse before people try to change the argument.
I hope it
actually
is. I hope I hope it's a full-on attack.
I actually love the Snyder
attack.
cut of Justice League, but the reality is none of that is from the comics. It's all stories matched up together, honestly. So there we go.
To the point where you need 4 hours to even make it slightly work, and it couldn't have been edited down to 2.5 hours.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like, okay, so completely off topic, but on topic, I guess. I feel like they could have taken the Snyder cut and broken it up into 2 movies, and that would have worked. But yeah, as a 4-hour thing, would have never.
No, I wouldn't.
Like that.
No, I wouldn't have worked. I personally don't think it would have worked in 2 minutes because 2 movies, just because it doesn't work as 2 movies.
You don't think so?
I think you're taking the events of the first movie and put it into a 2.5-hour movie and then done a follow-on. But I don't think you could have split that movie into 2 movies and then
so
actually
you're saying
put it in theaters.
The 4-hour movie, you could say you'd have to condense that to 2.5 hours and then do a follow-up to that.
Well, like you can. They condense that story into a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
It's the same story.
I know what you're saying. I don't think that you would have had the emotional resonance with Cyborg, though. His story needed to be it was. So
yeah, well, but it's also that, but you also could have condensed that a tiny bit because they do what's the word?
They could have done a Cyborg movie. They could have done a Cyborg movie.
Well, that's the issue, that they literally took the one Cyborg solo movie you could have done and put it in the Justice League movie.
Yeah.
That was the issue.
Okay. Thomas here with a £5 super chat. I was shocked when I opened a Flash comic and Iris was white with red hair because I'm so used to the show. But that's the thing, is a lot of comic book fans don't realize that a lot of casual viewers, their first introduction to these characters are the TV shows and the movies. So they don't care. And most of the studios know that. We are important to these characters for getting them into live action, but once they are in live action, the studios know the vast majority of the people that watch and support this don't give a shit about what we think. They don't care. They don't care if a character in the comics has blonde hair and they have brown hair in the movies. They don't give a shit about that. Like, we think that that's a really important thing. The vast majority of the public does not give a shit. They just don't. And that's the reality of it. So when they do those kinds of things for us, they only see it as being a non-issue for everyone else.
Well, my big thing has been is if they're going to, if there is a change in the live action stuff, like mainly with the movies, and yours like that's where we see it, and I guess if any other future adaptations, I guess would follow that, and there is whether it's a gender change, a race change, just an overall look change, whether it is white to blonde hair, white to blonde hair, blonde hair to brown hair, or white to black, white to Asian, Asian to, well, actually, probably wouldn't go Asian to white, that'd be controversial. But stuff like that, then they should change it in the comics.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised Iris is white in the comics.
Yeah.
Candace has been Iris for, well, I guess cast like almost 10 years, about 9 years ago, to the point where she was cast. And then Kiersey Clemens is playing Iris in the Flash movie. Obviously, it's not a massive role, but still Iris in the DCU. So I don't even know why Iris is... And she's black in the animated stuff, or at least some of the animated stuff.
Yeah.
It's like half of the animated stuff she's black in. So I'm like, why isn't she just not black in the comics now?
Yeah, I don't know.
It makes you wonder, like, at that point.
So Darth Zen, I just want to kind of piggyback off of this comment. He goes, I mean, to be fair, when they just did not care at all about the comic precise stuff in the 90s, it worked badly for everyone, not Batman. When they started caring more for the films, were better. In what way, though? Like, in what way do you mean? Better as in more financially better, more creatively better? Like, the comics themselves, like, if you say I want a comic accurate Flash, guess who you're talking about? You're talking about Jay Garrick. Jay Garrick was literally the first Flash, the very first character to ever be the Flash. Everyone after Jay Garrick is a piggyback or an adaptation of Jay Garrick's character. They're either carry on the mantle of Jay Garrick or they are picking up the torch. Barry Allen, Wally West, every single other iteration of the Flash, every other Green Lantern other than Alan Scott was created to continue that storyline without using the original characters. You cannot go, I like the source material at this point in time. Like, I didn't like it when it was first out, but when they changed it in the Silver Age, when they went from the Golden Age to the Silver Age, then I liked it. That's it. You either want it to be comic accurate or you don't.
That's if it was good before.
But again, that is a personal opinion.
No, but I'm saying if they did something, let's say it's a new character that was made like 10 years ago and it was shit just out of the get go, just out of the gate, shocking, and it goes away after a year because like, wow, we stuffed up there.
Right.
But then someone's like, hey, I saw that character 10 years ago, and they're a comic writer, and they're like, I think I can do a better job with that, and they reinvent the character.
Yeah.
And then that's the character. That's the quintessential character.
Right.
Then I think that's where it can start, as long as it was shockingly bad before.
Yeah, I get that, but still, that's not arguing. That is arguing that you have a favorite version of something. That's not arguing that it's the comic accurate version of a character. If I were to ask you what's the comic accurate version of Batman, how many versions of Batman have there been over the years? There's been thousands of versions of Batman. Which one is the comic accurate one? You know what I'm saying? Like when they say comic accurate, they just mean my favorite version. They don't mean comic accurate.
I know you like the one with Seal in it, Batman Forever.
But I mean, like, really, look how many flashes there have been. When you say I want a comic accurate Wally West, which Wally West? Which one? I want a comic accurate which Barry Allen? They have every time a new writer takes over a character, they change it slightly. And then there's always one where this is the quintessential run for this character. For example, you probably have a favorite Green Arrow run, right? What's your favorite Green Arrow storyline? Supermax?
Quiver.
Okay. So that version of Green Arrow is one that if you were going to say, I'd love to see this version on screen, that's one that you probably really appreciate. But you are not like everybody else. When they change things up, you don't freak out. Matter of fact, you've told me before, like, just wait and see where it's going to go. Don't freak out. Wait and see where it's going to go. But a lot of people, if they had their favorite version and the one that came out was not the one that they liked, they would go, I want a comic accurate Green Arrow, even though there's probably 20 different comic accurate Green Arrows. That's my whole point. Comic accuracy comes down to personal opinion.
Yeah.
So Darth Zen goes, I guess a issue is that comic precise version of modern Batman compared to when he first started would be different for me. And I mean, don't take something like the 90s Captain America movie. So the one where he was like riding on a motorcycle with the clear shield and a biker helmet.
But that's not a reflection on the comics. That's just more the era in which the movie was made.
That's a good point, Paigey. And I want to comment on that as well. There are limitations to what people can do with comic accuracy, and they have to work within those. I think we're in an era where everybody is spoiled because you can take a comic book thing and basically make it happen on screen. And so they think that we are beholden to do that. And I don't think we should always feel that way, because anything pre like 2010 was very difficult to do on screen for comic books. It's become much cheaper. That's why we have so many TV shows. And the thing is, when Canada Graph goes to filming sets and he sees like a head on a stick, you can kind of figure out, oh, that's supposed to be this character, or that's supposed to be this in the scene, because we've had it long enough now to know that. But 20 years ago, it wasn't like that. Not for TV shows.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it a lot more now, don't you? I mean, like where they're using scenes that have like stand-in like chairs and sticks and
like anytime you have something that is larger than an average human being, there is some type of way they've gone around making that look that way, and half the time there's not even a human standing there.
Yeah.
You know, tennis balls. Like, remember when Stephen Amell complained about doing his final scene to a tennis ball? They do tennis balls all the time for all sorts of things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, look, see, this is the thing. And Canada had pictures of some of that. Despero and Armageddon was like that. Yeah. Actually, they had a cutout for him, though, didn't they? Wasn't there a big cutout?
Yeah, they had a head cutout and just the head.
Oh, okay.
And then, but like other times, like when I was on the set for Deadpool, the thing they had for Juggernaut was just a guy walking around with a big stick out the back of his neck, like 9 feet in the air.
Do you think it's better for actors if they actually have an actor attached to something to act with instead of just something there?
I think some actors that matters. I mean, if you're a good actor, it shouldn't matter. But if you're an actor and you need that like focal point, yeah, probably you need some human being connected to it.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on from that, and we're going to talk about the main topic. It was in the title for this, and that is the deleted scene from The Flash. And this scene is going to... The what now? What are you gonna say?
I didn't know about it till the stream started.
Oh, all right. So this scene here, I believe, is explaining. I mean, I've watched the scene, but I'm trying to set it up here. What was happening in 2049 when Iris vanished in 2049? Is that the correct period in time, Paigey? Is that where the scene takes place after she disappeared?
I'll leave you on a cliffhanger.
So anyway, here's the. Let's share the screen, and I always forget it says present instead of share now. So we're actually going to watch it, and we're going to see if my content gets flagged for copyright. But
I hope it does.
Are you hoping it does? I know you, of course you do.
Yeah, I'll flag it myself.
So here's the scene, and I want to say this. I feel like this scene would have helped in context for a couple of different reasons. I know they cut it for time, but I feel like there's some important stuff in here that I think we would have appreciated. Anyway, Here we go.
Holograms.
Anything on the grid search?
Nothing. First, the Iris we know vanishes. Now, the version of her from 2022 is gone too.
There we go.
Oh, shit.
Still nothing. Wait, we need to tell Barry what's happening.
We can't?
No.
The Forever War may be over, but Barry's still off-world helping to clean up the Chronarch's mess, so until he gets back, there's no way to reach him. We need to find Iris on her own.
How?
I agree.
The Iris from 2022 was full of negative tachyons.
Negative tachyons.
She could be anywhere, lost in time again.
Oh, my brain. Oh, what about
With
this?
Ooh, MacGuffin.
What?
The temporal beacon I designed in case Barry and me got separated during the fighting, it emits a one-way tachyon signal to locate our positions. But if I can invert the cartographic relay inside it, maybe I can
the cartographic relay. I love all this techno talk.
Heck, all I would need is
Just
make up
scan
words
the
on the
negative
spot.
tachyon inside her, because I took one the moment she arrived.
Ooh, she thought ahead.
Convenient.
What would I do without you?
I love you.
Not much. No.
All right, so that was the scene.
It's a reaction channel now.
It is somewhat of a reaction channel.
Oh, actually, is that a preview of the Big L?
It could be.
Wow. Well, there's your first little sneak peek. Well, the initial sneak peek was going up on youknowwhat.com.
Yeah.
But,
So Andy says, fun fact about that deleted scene for those who missed when I interviewed Eric Wallace last time, that was the scene from season 8 finale that would have set up Flash season 10. Was that season 10?
Yeah. In his interview, there was a reference to season 10. I don't remember
so this was before they found out that season 9 was going to be the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Thomas! I bet they deleted that scene for Chegra. Yeah, Andy confirmed it wasn't a typo. That was for season 10. Okay, so this is why I don't think we're going to be getting Chronarch in season 9, is because they deleted that scene for a reason. And there's a couple things in there they talked about that I think would have made a really cool storyline, which is the Forever War, which I think was in a reference to the Forever Force, which is the storyline where Barry can control time or actually manipulate time with the Forever Force. And Chronarch probably would have been the villain for it. And I'm wondering if they removed that scene because they knew they weren't going to get a season 10.
But to me, it's not explicitly setting it up. The fact that, like, to me, it's just sort of giving, like, building the world of the future because we're not going to see it.
Right.
And just saying, oh, there's still these things that go on at that point, which were in the Earth Prime comic event. All that stuff that was happening in the future.
Mm-hmm.
That crossover thing at the end was in the future. So they're just building that world out. I don't think that needs to be cut if it was meant for some sort of setup, because to me, it adds some context to what happened with Iris.
It also adds context to why future Barry wasn't helping.
Yeah.
So
I feel like someone needs to tell me, was there a stupid Chester and Allegra scene in that finale that took up time? Oh no, I need to know because I can't remember because
I don't remember either.
Create a void in my brain which I can't access, which all the Chegra stuff.
Someone in the chat remind us, was there a Chegra scene in the finale? Please tell me if there was, because they could have easily just gotten rid of that and given us that scene. Because
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
looking
it
now.
wasn't like it was a 3-minute scene. It was a minute,
Yeah.
just over a minute or something.
It was a minute and 20 seconds, a minute and 21 seconds.
And you could have edited it down like Jay Garrick scratching his head, which went for about 5 seconds or something as well.
Oh, there was this Cecile leveling up scene.
Oh, goodness me. I remember that. That should have been cut. That should not have even been written, let alone deleted.
You needed that scene to set up when she gets her spin-off.
Oh, it's true. So my issue is I think this scene would have added a lot of context to not only the future stuff, but some of the questions we might have had from present day, like where was Barry, what were Jay and what was Jay doing at that time? Because a lot of people asked where did he go?
Also, Jay's hardly in the finale, and he gets a scene like a one-on-one scene in the finale, and they delete it because he's hardly in the finale when you look back at it.
Yeah. So my question is, why would they remove a cool scene like that? That scene would have been, if this were like seasons 1 through 5, that scene would have been in there because it's so fan driven. It's a very fan good, like I want to say fan friendly, but like something the fans would want to see, right? But we remove that to put in something that people explicitly don't like, which is like something with Cecile or something with the fake romance stuff. I wonder if they removed it specifically for time or because they really didn't want to put it in there without being able to do season 10. I don't know. So my question is, do you think we're going to see Cronarch now? Because with this removed, it pushes that Cronarch reference even further back. Do you think we're going to see anything Cronarch related in season 9?
Oh, unless it's like something towards the end, which is another little reference once again to build that thing. But I would say no. Also, to me, the Cronarch doesn't seem that interesting of a villain anyway.
You don't think they would have changed him up for the show to make him more?
Well, I think you have to change him up a lot to the point where we're talking about comic accuracy before. If you change him up, is he even really that character anymore?
Cronarch, I remember, kind of like looks like a Brainiac type character in the face or whatever.
It looks like just like Big Brother or something like that.
Yeah,
like a future like technological Big Brother or something.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know, but a lot of people seem to want him. But the good news is that if we're not going to be using Cronarch, that lowers the pool of like possible big bads for season 9, and maybe we will see Red Death. I don't know. I can say it right now, Red Death will probably not be comic accurate if anybody's going to go ahead and get, bent out of shape. So, and I always go back to Zoom. Like Zoom and Savitar were both not very comic accurate. And people love those characters. Say love. People will love the idea of Savitar, not necessarily the execution. But most people love Zoom. I think Zoom is a great villain. So I don't know. And Paige is probably going to do a deep dive on this subject in a video coming up soon. So be ready for it. It's going to be much deeper than this. Like Mariana Trench deep.
Ooh.
So Darth, if we had all of our shows around still, like if we had like 4 or 5 Arrowverse shows, I could say they could do a Dark Multiverse crossover story, but now that we're down to just the Flash, I don't think that's going to happen. We might see it in the movies though, or over on HBO Max. We don't really know much about that. Yeah, but Willish World here says, I thought that maybe Cronarch could be sending the future Rogues back in time to face the Flash because we already saw a new Captain Boomerang. I mean, it's possible. But I don't know, more leveling up, baby. Not sure. Anyway, I was gonna announce something with Canada Graphs, but I totally could not pick what I wanted, so I never sent him a
crossed my mind during the stream, and I was gonna DM you about it, but I know you almost never check your DMs during the stream.
Yeah,
if you want to pick one out right now, I mean you can do it right now.
So send me a link to your page, and
sure.
How do you want to do this? How do you want to do this giveaway?
That is up to you. I told you, as long as I gave you the instructions on how to do it.
Yeah. Let me pull up my I'll open up my DMs here and see what you put
hold on, I haven't sent it yet.
Okay.
Give me like 40 seconds.
All right.
countdown. God.
Yeah, just send me the link to which one, and then you can bring it up on screen or whatever you're doing with it.
Okay. And how long do we have to run the contest? Like, how long do you want to run it for?
Preferably in the next week or so that I can get it mailed out before the end of October.
Okay. Let's see here. Chat, let me know. Let me see. Actually, I see one that would be really funny. There's a Colton Hayes one that I think is hilarious that I would love to give away, but we're not going to do that one. I'll open this up on screen so people can see me scrolling through here. We're going to be giving away an autographed photo from Canada Graphs, and I'm going to scroll through and see what we have here. Paigey, what about this one right here? What do you think? Is that a good one or no?
It depends. I'm not the one getting it. So.
Oh, no, here we go. I think this is the good one, right? I think this is a. Oh no! How about this one? Remember this storyline?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have a Charlotte Ross signed one.
Wait, I'm trying to find one specifically for Paigey, but I don't see one. Hold on. Let me see. What do we got here? Oh, we got Diggle as Green Arrow with his crossbow.
Paigey already has one from his friend Steven.
Trying to find like a meme one, like a memeable one.
Let's see. I was trying to find a really cool one. You know which one I think this one's really cool. That's a good shot. Or one of these here. Oh, you know this is my favorite suit. I love that suit.
It's my most hated suit. So
let's see. You know what? Let's do something OG. Let's do something OG here. Let's go all the way back here. Is that OG enough?
What about the one below it?
Which one? Right here? This one?
No, that one next to it. The one with Firestorm.
Yeah, it's got to be a single person photo though.
Oh, well, you should have said that. Why?
Well, I knew. That's why I didn't pick that one. That's why I didn't pull up the
Eric knew.
Jesus Christ! Lay out the rules.
All right, let's do this one. This is the one.
And the DM sent Eric. Eric knew that, so that's on him for not telling you. Blame Eric.
This is the one we're going to be doing for the contest. And what I'll do is I am going to figure out how to do it in the next couple of days, and it'll be like a 48-hour giveaway. And I'll post it up in a video, in a short, and I will post it up in the community tab. And then before I do that though, I'm going to clear it with Canada Graphs on how I'm going to do the giveaway. But this is the picture we'll be giving away. So this is the one. So if you like this picture, you want an autographed photo from Canada Graphs collection, stay tuned. And tomorrow I will announce all the rules for it. So is that good, Canada Graphs? Is that a good choice?
All right. Yeah,
I've
got a bookmark.
All right. Thank you so much. That's going to be given away to someone. I think it's a good compromise. I like the season 4 costume, but Paigey is probably in a group of people that hate it. So,
You mean the majority? Yeah.
So, but anyway, smaller stream today. We didn't have a lot of topics to talk about. No real drama. I know there was a storyline. Hold on, let me see. Where's it at? I don't know if I want to talk about it. But...
By the way, I want to just do a little house cleaning because I get asked the occasional question about these things.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of people from the Arrowverse are in town right now, but just to clear up, Violet Bean has her own show she's doing here.
Okay.
Cameron Johnson is here directing. And Breck Bassinger will be back again in about 2 weeks for another movie. So if you hear anything about those people in Vancouver, that's what they're here for.
I also heard that they figured out what Nicole Maines was doing there. Is that true or not?
No, as far as if someone else did, I haven't heard what it was.
Let me double check her social media stuff because someone said that she was there for something else.
Okay.
Let me see. Where's it at? Let me double check.
Actually, triple check.
So quadruple check.
No, that's triples enough. I go overboard.
Someone said she was there doing some sort of fashion related thing, but I don't know if that's true or not. I don't see anything on her social media, but they were saying that she was there for a fashion photo thing, like a fashion photo shoot.
Okay.
So,
like I said, no one, as far as I know, knows what she was doing here.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. So that's pretty much it. Next week we'll figure out if we're going to do something related to Black Adam or not. It really depends on whether or not everybody gets to see the movie. We'll do a separate stream about that if we don't do it in the after party. And we'll see. I was going to bring up the story about Issa Rae talking about Ezra, but I feel like I'll do that in a separate video.
What'd she say?
That here we go, Cameron. This is exactly what I was looking up. She was saying that Ezra getting away with everything that they're doing has to do with privilege of their position in Hollywood. And yeah,
I think it has more to do with how much money is tied into the project.
I think that's a big part of it. Yes. But
if the film was $40 million, I think they would scrap it at this point.
Probably. Yeah. I think that's probably true. But the studio, we've already talked about it. There's something with Ezra Miller. The studio seems to be willing to go like to a certain length that they haven't done for other people. I mean, you could argue that Michael Keaton and, Brendan Fraser both were ignored by the studio because of the project with Batgirl. But again, it was an inexpensive thing for them compared to The Flash, which has cost them tons of money. So I don't know. So, I mean, do we want to briefly talk? I'm going to do a whole video on this, but I'll get the actual quote. Let me pull up the quote and I'll read it. All right, let's see. The quote is, I'm going to be real. The stuff that's happening with Ezra Miller to me is a microasm of Hollywood. There's a person who's a repeat offender who's been behaving atrociously, and as opposed to shutting them down and shutting the production down, there's an effort to save the movie. And that's a clear example of the lengths that Hollywood would go to save itself and to protect offenders. So don't do that. And women may be able to thrive. They won't have to live in fear of keeping silent because it ruined their careers. It's just a constant pattern of abuse that'll only persist if Hollywood continues to insist on it being this way. So basically saying that because of all the things that Ezra has done, that Hollywood is just covering up someone that's an abuser.
Yeah, I think it's more of an issue if Ezra just keeps working post Flash, or more specifically, I guess, if Warner Brothers keeps working with Ezra. I think the thing, so I think them still releasing the Flash is fine just because they've invested so much money into it. The thing I question is the fact that they're bringing Ezra back in as of only a week or two ago to do pickups. I'm like, surely you can just work with what you got instead of having to bring Ezra back into the fold, because that just insinuates that you're fine working with him, going forward.
My big question with all of this is how on earth, because the court date's coming up very soon with Ezra. Ezra's not in rehab. Even though they said they're going to be in rehab, Ezra has not been in rehab.
Unless the name of the studio is Rehab, he's not in rehab.
No, I think it's like a quote unquote rehab.
Yeah.
Like stay at home rehab sort of thing.
There's no way that Ezra can go out promoting this movie and not have to talk about these subjects. Someone, even if the studio tries their best to keep it under wraps, someone will get one snippet or say one thing somewhere on a red carpet. This is why they probably won't do anything with Ezra that's not hyper controlled. Like Ezra will not be out doing stuff like open questions and Q&As and stuff like that. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think you'll get Ezra doing that unless they've somehow managed to flip the script come end of June next year. I think the movie comes out, or it's scheduled to come out, and they flip the script by then to the point where they think that they can get away with putting Ezra out there, whether it is on the red carpet doing interviews or doing a press junket, or just that they can put him in ads, saying buy tickets now, like stuff like you're saying with The Rock right now with Black Adam. I mean, if they get to that point and it can somewhat be accepted, I mean, that'd be off its head.
Yeah. What do you think, Candigraphs? Do you think we're going to see like a promotional thing push with Ezra, or do you think they're going to back down and just use like everybody else?
I don't think so, because even even if they try and sell us the pitch, they're like, oh yeah, Ezra went to rehab for 6 weeks and now he's a changed man. There's such a cloud over that guy that you can't put him on a television screen with like a reporter with a microphone in front of him and not have everybody look at that guy and be like, oh, that's that guy that did that stuff.
Right.
I don't even know if they'll have his face on the poster.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they promote it without putting his face on the poster, but I really think they're going to try their hardest to minimize reminding people he's in the movie.
They'll put his face on the poster, but they'll put his face on the poster, but it'll be him as the Flash.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not going to put Barry Allen on the poster.
Well, it is Barry Allen as the Flash.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if they used a picture of the comic book Flash and everybody else was?
Wouldn't it be funny if it was just? Wouldn't it be funny if they just used Grant in all the advertising?
Oh.
And just went, hey, I'm not in this movie. I'm not in this movie. At least I'm not meant to tell you I'm in this movie. But the other guy can't come and do this. He's, on what's the thing when they pick up the rubbish on the side with a stick, like that type of. He's on community service. The only photo
we had of him was his mugshot. We couldn't use that.
Yeah, sorry, pointing to like this happened on this. So I'll just take over the duties here for now. I'm the lovable Flash, not the committing crimes one. Except for that time I
was working on a Photoshop of that right this second.
I would not be surprised. Mark my words. There will be a deep fake version of that movie after it comes out. Some person will get their hands on a copy of it and just put another actor's face on.
Who's the guy that did the like the Mark Hamill stuff for Disney? Get him to work on it.
Yeah, like totally. Yeah, exactly. But before we go though, has Grant had any major controversies other than like the
vaping? That's it.
That's it, right?
Keeping on the plane thing is probably the only one I can really think of. I mean, from a legal standpoint, that could have, if they wanted to be assholes about it, could have put him on the no-fly list.
Yeah, they could have.
But they didn't because he's rich and famous, you know?
It's that privilege.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's where we're going to wrap it up. Thank everybody for stopping in. All of our Team Eric members, thank you so much for your continued support. And everybody in the Ericverse who is here today, thank you so much for being here. And again, look out in the next 24 hours for the announcement on the contest. I'll be dropping the rules after I clear them all with Canada Graphs. And then next week, we'll see what's going to happen with Black Adam. I'm hoping they have a good weekend. I think the movie looks good, and I don't want them to be punished because Warner Brothers is being a butthead. I think that hopefully the movie does really good. So we will see. Anyway, I'm out of here, and we'll catch everyone later. Thanks, Canada Graphs and Paigey. See everyone later.
Oh.